Boys, you already know I put out straight bangers this week, so stay tuned. What's good, guys? Hunter here and welcome back to Fragrance Hunter. How's your week going, guys? I hope everybody had a fantastic week. Mine was pretty good, even though I was expecting the weather to be a little bit cooler, but guys, we're still getting some warm weather here in Ohio where I'm from. Even though we're getting some chilly mornings, but it's going up to like the high 70s and sunny later on in the day. And I know last week kind of gave me false expectations a little bit. I thought we are gonna have some very cold weather coming sooner than later. So I've still been rocking a mix of fragrances like spring, fall, kind of transitioning fragrances, and some new stuff as well, as always, guys. And before we get in my list, drop your rotation down below. Let's get right into Monday. Monday was in the high 70s and cloudy, and we went with exclusive Oud Blue from Orientica. Man, why are you guys sleeping on Orientica? They got some straight bangers, especially exclusive Oud Blue, which I've had in my collection for a few years now, and I've always kind of deemed this as like the latent killer, guys. And I'm a huge fan of Latent. It's probably one of my favorite PDMs, which I do own right behind you guys over there. But man, this one is a little bit stronger. It almost smells a little bit richer. If you don't know anything about Latent, it's like this vanilla, apple, kind of cozy, addictive scent profile. And it has less of that kind of Vicks vapor rub that Latent has always been known to smell like. So yeah, definitely check out exclusive Oud Blue, guys, especially on discounters. These are fairly cheaper. On Monday, I think I went to the gym, which isn't really the best gym fragrance if I'm being honest with you, but I like to stick to one fragrance throughout the entire day. So pretty much whatever I spray on in the morning, I'm rocking until I either shower or go to sleep, which is kind of tricky, especially if I'm going to the gym in those kind of environments and I'm wearing something a little bit too heavy for that kind of situation. I still got to push through with it, guys. But I did only go 5 sprays of exclusive Oud Blue. This one is a beast, but it's been sitting for years now, and they are extrait de parfum, so you already know it's gonna perform. So that's what I rock for Monday. Tuesday was also in the high 70s but sunny, and I went with Off-Nod Supremacy Collector's Edition. Man, oh man, this might be the GOAT in the entire Supremacy line, guys. This one is special, and I know I reviewed this one maybe a year ago. I was like one of the first people to review it. And this one's so high quality, man. Like literally very, very high quality, up there with Creed, possibly. And I know this one gets compared to both Aventus and Absolute Aventus. I do think it's more so like Aventus, to be honest. Get like pineapple, black currant, a little bit smoky, but not as smoky as Not Only Intense, which is also heavier on oak moss, but that's more similar to like hacivat. But to be honest with you, if I had to choose one Supremacy, I think I'm rocking Collector's Edition, no doubt about it. Now, on that day, I did go 5 sprays of this as well. The performance is very solid, of course, what you expect from Off-Nod. I know you guys ask all the time if I prefer this over Havas Black, if I prefer it over Precious One by Armaf, and honestly it's kind of hard to say because Havas Black is literally my baby. It's more similar to hacivat but amped up on the oak moss even more, which I love. I will say though, this will probably get you the most compliments, but that's what I rocked for Tuesday is Collector's Edition. Wednesday was also in the high 70s and sunny, and I went with Fleur's Cherry Stem, which is brand new, hot off the shelves. You might have seen my review because I did post it, and one of the only people on YouTube to review it. And this is going to be this very boozy, brandy, dark, kind of juicy cherry and plum vibe going on. It's seriously one of the booziest cherries in my entire collection, over French Defense, over Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, which is the one that everybody compares any cherry fragrance to. This one is darker and boozier and just not as sweet, which is right up my alley. And for real, have you guys even checked out Fleur? I know they're exclusively at like Sephora, so I know if you're going in there with your lady, you're going to the fragrance section, and go ahead and smell some Fleurs, guys. Cherry Stem, Father Figure, and a Tangerine Boy are our 3 bangers from the brand. On that day, I did do 6 sprays of Cherry Stem Hit the Gym, which is not a gym fragrance by any means. Thankfully, it was a few hours after applying it when I did go to the gym, so it wasn't as strong by that time. Anytime I want a good bougie cherry, you already know I'm reaching for a Cherry Stem. Absolutely check it out if you get a chance. Thursday was in the mid 60s and rainy outside, so a little bit cooler, and I rocked Hugo Boss Boss Bottle Beyond. I wanted to revisit this one after my review. I didn't give it a good review, guys, and I see some people saying that, oh, it's a lot better than what you're saying. The ginger lasts longer than like 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, let me try it again. And man, you guys were wrong. This one I still think is not that good, even though it had huge potential because of that beautiful, fresh, spicy ginger opening that's so uplifting. One of the most uplifting ginger openings I've smelled, to be honest, and I love ginger and have so many ginger fragrances in the collection, of course. But that suede-like leather and that woodiness in the base is just so generic and just not really vibing with it at all. So I don't know who likes this one. If you do, great for you, enjoy it. But for me, guys, not the biggest fan of Beyond. Hopefully they come out with a flanker of this one, improve the ginger, take away that suede leather and kind of enhance it in some other way, and then possibly it would be a lot better. But this one ain't it, and I'm always honest with you. If I like a fragrance, I like it. If I don't, I don't. It does not matter if I get the bottle sent to me or anything like that. I don't have to say things. I'm not under contract ever to have to say anything, so do not believe that. Plus, I think brands actually respect you if you're actually honest about their fragrance. If you don't like it, say you don't like it. If you like it, say you like it, etc. It's not that big of a deal. And beyond, I'm not really the biggest fan of, and probably won't be reaching for it anytime soon at least. Unless it sits a little bit, macerates maybe a year or so, and the ginger pops a little bit more, then possibly. But until then, this one's sitting on the shelf. I did also do 5 sprays of Beyond. The performance is so-so. It's not terrible, but it's also not great, if you know what I mean. But that's what I chose to wear for Thursday. And on that day, actually, Giorgio Armani passed away. So RIP Giorgio Armani, man. He had made so many fragrances, like the original Acqua di Gio, which is an icon and will forever be an icon. And I would have rocked an Acqua di Gio or anything from Armani on that day, but I already chose to wear this before finding out about that. So drop RIP Giorgio Armani in the comments below, and also drop your favorite from the brand. Mine would probably be Profumo, which is discontinued, but you already know I have my baby right there. Friday was in the mid 70s and sunny, and I went Riff's Momento, which this one's getting a ton of hype because it's inspired by Montal's Arabian Stalker, which I recently reviewed. Very familiar with the DNA and was never a love at first sniff. However though, Momento enhances that percent profile and makes it a lot better with a little bit of a twist, a little bit sweeter, less rosy to my nose. I did see somebody say they get more rose in Momento, which I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe that's your skin chemistry, but my skin chemistry does not pop on the rose at all. It's there, but it's not dominant by any means compared to Arabian Stalker, which I always thought Arabian Stalker was a little bit too feminine. For me personally, I always preferred that on my lady rather than myself. However, though, Memento is the opposite. Slightly more masculine than Arabian Stalker, still in the same realm, of course, so very much unisex. Tonka beans, of course, oud, sugar, saffron, rose, and this one actually adds caramel and amberwood in the dry down, which I think enhances it. Plus, the performance is on par with Arabian Stalker, if not even stronger, because it is an extrait de parfum at the end of the day. I actually went 10 sprays of Momento, went out in the evening, got some dinner with the lady, which I think this is a pretty good like date night out type of fragrance, no doubt about it. It is a little bit romantic, it's a little bit sensual, a little bit spicy, and of course a little bit sugary, which we all love. So that's what I rocked for Friday. Let me know if you guys had the chance to try Momento yet, and what are your thoughts. Saturday was in the low 70s but sunny outside, and I rocked Nusik Atik, which is sister brands to Ribs, because I got a package from like Nusik and Ribs. Whoa guys, Atik is incredible, especially if you're a fan of a Zaharoff Nexo, which I am personally. One of my favorite Zaharoffs, no doubt about that. Tobacco, honey, a little bit aromatic, a little bit citrusy in the opening only, and a little bit vanilla in the dry down. But this right here, guys, is very similar. There's not much information about this. I don't even really know the notes behind it. It's not on Fragrantica. I think it's brand new and just releasing, but wow, Naxos lovers, you had to check out Atik, because of course, you already know, being a Nusik, this is gonna be very inexpensive, but still pretty high quality. It's my first time kind of experiencing this house and wrist, but I gotta say I am impressed. And the performance with this is out of this world, over 12 hours. I honestly cannot believe how strong this fragrance was. It is also an extrait de parfum, so you already know it should at least perform somewhat, but this one exceeded my expectations even for an extrait. And take a look at this bottle, guys. Like this honeycomb type of bottle, and very honey-like, no doubt about that, guys. So if you love honey, tobacco, vanilla fragrances like Naxos, absolutely check out this one. Now on that day, I only did do 5 sprays with it, and my girl, hours into the day after applying it, said I smell super sexy and very strong, which is absolutely the case. Sexy, strong, and seductive is Atik. Absolutely check this one out when you guys can, because it's worth it. Wrapping the week off on Sunday was in the high 60s and sunny outside, and I went with Yves Saint Laurent's Muse, which I just got in. It's also the newest fragrance in the YSL private line, and honestly, this is the first one I actually own in that line. I know about Tuxedo, I know about Baby Cat, but we got Mousse in, and I gotta say, when I first got this, I was very, very impressed. I got a burst of this powdery iris. It's a little bit aromatic, a little bit resinous and smoky from incense that dries down into this kind of creamy vanilla and this very dark, kind of gothic, inky vibe. It almost smells like something that a vampire would wear, like a very classy, rich vampire would be rocking Mousse as their signature scent. So if you ever want to smell like a rich vampire, check it out. Or if you ever want to smell like ink as well, this is going to give you that exact vibe. I'm not even sure how they did it, but man, they captured that. And it says Mousse inspiring ink on the bottle right there, and the juice color is purple, which I think is beautiful. Man, if I ever got away from like Louis Vuitton L'Immensité, Bulgari's Tiger, Sospiro Vibrato as my signature scents, I would almost make this that. But man, On that day, I did do 5 sprays of Mousse. My girl said she did not like the smell at all, which she is very picky when it comes to fragrances, man. To be honest, like she has a hard time liking anything that I wear. So if she likes it, you already know it's good. And she was not vibing with Mousse at all. And I can honestly see why, because it's very different, almost niche-like as well, just because of how unique it is. And these things are very expensive, like over 300 bucks for this bottle. You're gonna expect something different and unique if you're paying at that hefty price. And I did see that a lot of people say this is kind of feminine, which I wouldn't necessarily say it's a feminine fragrance. It's very unisex. Both a man and a woman are able to rock Mousse. Whoever just is in that kind of gothic and dark vibe. This is a fragrance that I would rock it from wearing like a leather jacket and all black outfit. I would be pulling out Mousse. Even though the performance with this isn't really the best when I wore it on Sunday. That's gonna do it for my weekly rotation. As always, if you haven't already, drop your rotation down below. I wanna see what you guys are rocking with. And besides that, leave a like, subscribe below as well if you haven't already. And you already know, I'll see all of you back here tomorrow. Take care, everybody.